Nah.
Hi and welcome to the fourth one-click-in video. My name's Greg, and this time I've got a bit of a project on the go. I have an 03 R6 track bike. Fairings are a bit rough. The rest of the bike looks pretty good. So I've picked up this bike for the right price, and I'm going to try to paint the fairings. So I live in a very dusty area, so I'm going to make a bit of a spray booth as best I can on a budget, and do the whole thing myself. So I'll walk through the steps I take, and hopefully the end result will be something that I'm half proud of taking to the track one day. So I hope you enjoy the video, and as usual, like and subscribe if you do. Let's go. Here's how the little beast looks at the moment, sitting in the shed. The previous owner was an engineer, and he made that rear subframe, which is actually quite neat if you have a look at it. It's all aluminium. Did a nice job of that. The tank's in pretty good nick. It's got one little nick out of it. Got plenty of spares with it. Seems to run all right. These things rev. I can't believe how it revs. So I've taken the fairings off it, and I'll show you those in a sec. Okay, so here I am in my shed, which I've lined with plastic. It's a bit of a Dexter kill room, but it looks okay. I've got a fan here that's creating some positive pressure. It's got a filter on it, so I'm going to try to keep it as clean as I can in here. I'm in a very dusty area, so it's a bit of a trick trying to keep things clean, and I'll show you around. So here's my plastic room. I've got my fan down here. I'll just go down to there, and I've put these pallets underneath the plastic, and I've drilled holes in them, and just with PVC pipe instead of using metal and welding up proper stands and everything, because I'm only doing it the once. I've come up with a bit of a cheap alternative to proper metal stands, and I've got these PVC fittings and just cut them to the right size. And PVC fittings and pipe is really cheap now. So I came up with this idea. Here's the tail piece of the bike, and yeah, it's nice and sturdy. Hopefully it'll be okay to walk around and spray and everything. And yeah, I've got 4 of them sitting up like that for the main front fairing, the belly pan, the front guard, and that tail piece that I just showed you. I'm not painting the tank. The tank's pretty good. It's only a track bike, so yeah, hopefully I can get this thing looking sweet. So I'll continue on, and I'll get back to you later. Okay, so here's an update. I've got all my parts in the makeshift booth. Booth's holding together okay so far. It looks a bit like a parachute at times. I'll just pan up and show you around the place. But it's doing its job. I've got all the parts here, and yeah, I'm just about to put a 2-pack high-fill primer on, and I've cleaned all the parts off with a grease and wax cleaner and a tack rag, and of course all the mounts and everything as well to try to keep the dirt down. So yeah, away I go. I'll get back to you soon. Welcome back to the spray room. We'll call it a spray room, not a kill room, even though it looks like one. So I've just put the primer on, high fill primer. That's my first, that's my first coat. I'm hoping to get away with just the one, because the top fairing wasn't too bad. Belly, well, the belly of the belly is a bit rough, but I'm not really fussed about that because it's going to just get hell anyway. The tail, that's come up good. That's nice. And the front guard, that's pretty good as well. Pretty happy with everything. So yeah, I'll wait until it dries out properly, and then I'll give it a rub and get ready for paint. And unfortunately clear, because it's a pearl colour, the original 03 R6 colour that I'm spraying. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad. So far so good. And you can see the room definitely made a difference. You can see all the crap on the walls, and yeah, it's positive pressure in here, so it should be fairly clean compared to my last spray job that I did, which was outside. So hopefully this will be not too bad. Okay, I'm here in my makeshift spray booth, day 2 of the R6 project, painting the fairings. Give you a look around. I've put them in primer. I did that yesterday and gave them a rub. Most of them yesterday, some today as well. I've just gone around and cleaned them and used some grease and wax remover, and I'm going to do a quick tack wipe and then put on the colour and clear. So hopefully they'll be alright. Thanks to my neighbour for digging up his paddock today. That's really handy when you're trying to paint. Excellent. So here's the bits all ready for painting. The belly pan's definitely not perfect, but I mean, I'd hate to do it perfectly anyway and then go out on the track and it just gets smashed up or you know, chipped with rocks and everything. Everything else is pretty good, not bad. The spray booth is holding up, but I wouldn't like to keep it this way for a week. Hashtag use more tape. Anyway, I'm going to go and mix some paint, give these a final tack wipe and throw on some colour. Wish me luck. Okay, here's an update on my fairing paint job for my R6. I've got some colour on now, which doesn't look too bad, a little bit peely, but amateur job, you can expect that. Yeah, I've got to do the clear next, so hopefully I can get a good coat of that on without any runs. We'll see what happens. But the red looks pretty good, should shine up nice with some clear on it, so I'll just wait for this to cure properly. I will mix up some clear. I've already cleaned the gun, cleaned it thoroughly because on a budget using the same gun for colour and clear, so I gave it a good clean out. So here's how the red looks. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So it's actually not meant to be shiny as yet, so that's why it sort of looks a bit dull, because I've got to put the clear coat on. It's clear over base, because this is slightly pearlescent apparently, this colour. So all the parts look pretty good. As I said, underneath the belly pan, not fantastic, but hey, that's facing the track. I'm having a few issues with my wall here. Not sure whether the camera will grab this, but it's a little bit breezy outside and it's flapping around a bit. But as far as dirt goes on the fairings, it's actually looking really good. I've filtered the paint and I just move around inside here very slowly so I don't stir up any dust or dirt or anything. And considering where I live, this is pretty good, because I'll show you outside. This will freak out the camera for a second, but it should compensate for it in a tick. This is where I'm living, so it's a very dusty place. Alright, ciao for now. Alrighty, I have the clear coat on, which worked really well. Minimal dirt in all the parts. I'm very pleased with the finish. As you can see, beautiful, nice and shiny. However, because I've got my dodgy DIY booth here, I did have a problem earlier. I added an extraction fan, and as you can see, this guard here, which turned out beautiful, copped the plastic imploding in. And so I'll just try to show this up and pan down a bit. You can see the plastic has made its way into the clear coat. So I think I'll have to sand that back and re-clear it. So not happy about that, but the actual finish I'm well pleased with. There's minimal dirt in there, and I don't think the camera's really showing the true colour. It's a nice red through the monitor. It's looking a bit orange. So anyway, I will have to do this one again, just with the clear coat, rub it back and try that again, probably tomorrow. Oh well. Under my dark dusty bench, here's the little compressor I used. A bigger compressor would definitely be a better idea, because you have to keep waiting for this one to catch up all the time as you're spraying, or you just lose pressure. Here's a little gun I used for all of the painting. Other than the primer, I did use a suction feed gun, just a really cheap thing just to lay on the high fill primer. but for the colour and the clear I used this little DeVilbiss gun. It's probably about the cheapest model that they come out with. Did a great job though, very pleased with it, and I used Protect paint and some Norton sandpaper. This is the foamy spongy backed gear, but I did use a rubbing block as well for that. So it's all fairly cheap gear I used, plus a small compressor, but the job was really good, so well pleased with it all. Okay, so I've got the fairings back on the R6 now, so I'm just putting a few of these stickers on, or decals, decals, however you like to say it in your part of the world. And yeah, it's turned out nice. I'll get the drone out later and have a bit of a fly around it and show you the whole thing.